Alright, this is the hip hop book tag. I was tagged by Ryan, but the original creator is Marc Nash. There, got that right. Ryan from Madman Reads and Rocks tagged me. Marc Nash created this tag. So, here we go. Let me see if I can keep this straight. Mixing old technology and new technology. Old technology being a note card. Oh, come on now. Okay, here we go. There are 15 questions. Question number 1. Oh, by the way, you know, like at last video I said I'd been missing for about a week. My oldest son came to visit. I hadn't seen him in 5 or 6 months, so we've been catching up and drinking a few and talking about music and literature and art and all that good stuff. So here we go. Question number 1. Grandmaster Flash and the Furious Five, the message. What book had a message which you just couldn't figure out? The Great and Secret Show by Clive Barker. I know it's supposed to be one of those end of the world things, but I don't know, I had some issues with it. As far as Clive Barker goes, I like his short fiction as opposed to some of his longer stuff. That one and Weave World and The Thief of Always was okay, but those two were just kind of tough. Number 2, Paid in Full. Which character got their just desserts in the most memorable way? Annie Wilkes from Misery. And if you've never, if you don't recall this "suck my book" line from the novel, then you haven't read it, but it's pretty awesome. Number 3, Beastie Boys, No Sleep Till Brooklyn. Which was the last book you read in one sitting or read through the night? One because you couldn't tear yourself away. Wasn't through the night, but I'm doing a buddy read with Scott Cruikshanks from Book Axe, and we've been reading Sing and Buried Sing, and I started out reading 50 pages a day, which Scott was doing, and I just wiped this thing out yesterday, and I just decided I wasn't going to put it down. And it's an engaging read. If you want to review on it, watch my wrap-up. Okay, number 4, Run DMC, Sucker MCs. Which main character was the biggest sucker in the novel? Anyone from Twilight. Man, I rag on that book. Number 5, Tone Loc, Wild Thing. The wildest character in a novel or the wildest novel? Slob from Rex Miller. This guy was a killing machine, and he was kind of like a savant when it came to killing. And he came back from Vietnam and he just kept killing. Number 6, Public Enemy, Fight the Power. Which character faced the most overwhelming odds and put up the best fight? I'm going to go with Mathurin Kerbuchard from The Walking Drum. By Louis L'Amour. He went from having his family's stuff taken from him, his relatives killed, and he became a slave, and he escaped from slavery, and he became an educated man of the world, and he's in search of his father, and I'm not going to tell you how that turns out, but Mathurin Kerbuchard. Number 7, Gangster's Paradise, best novel about crime or law enforcement. I'm going to go with They Thirst, even though it's a vampire novel, because there are criminal elements involved, and I don't read a lot of crime fiction. So. Eight, Notorious B.I.G. What's the biggest grudge or rivalry in a novel that you've read? North against the South, the Civil War, Red Badge of Courage. I don't see it laying around here, but trust me, it's here someplace. By Stephen Crane. 12, Dr. Dre, next episode. What's the best series you've read? The Sackets by Lou L'Amour. I don't read a lot of series. I like the Spell Singer series by Ellen Dean Foster, but I got a little wrung out after 2 or 3 of them. But I do like the Sackets by Lou L'Amour. Hang on a minute. Seems like I skipped something. Yeah, I did. Hang on. Back it up. 9, Cypress Hill. Alright, let's back this thing up. 9, Cypress Hill. I think I just answered 12. Who's the maddest or barmiest character you've come across? Hannibal Lecter. Silence of the Lambs. 10, De La Soul, Me, Myself, and I. Who's the most self-involved or self-obsessed character? Bella from Twilight. 11, New York State of Mind. Best novel set in New York or a version of New York. Herbert Asbury's The Gangs of New York, which the film was kind of based on. It's one of my favorite movies. Now we're to 12. What's the best series you've read? The Sackets. 13. Tupac Shakur changes. Which character undergoes the greatest change through the course of a novel? I'm going to go with, well, boy, that's a toughie. I want to go with Manthurin Kubushard from The Walking Drone because, you know, he proves fictionally that education and being the best at what you do will get you places. 14, Kanye West, Gold Digger. Which character was the biggest gold digger, male or female? Shucks. Had it laying around here. And there is an uncomfortable silence. Well, I can't find it. Cannot find it. I'll get to that one later. 15, Jay-Z, 99 Problems. Which book has the most plot holes and problems? No Place Like Home by Mary Higgins Clark, and I had some issues with the newspaper and the bullet in the tree and some other things, which, you know, apparently she's written a lot of good stuff, and I've read some of hers, but that one didn't do it for me. So, well, I had to skip 14 because I couldn't find my book. But anyway, thank you so much, Ryan from Madman Reads and Rocks for the tag, and Marc Nash, cool tag, man. This one required some thought, which makes it rough on people like me. So, thanks everybody for sticking around. Cheers. It's really warm in this back room. It's air conditioned over on the other side where my wife's playing Horizon Zero Dawn, but I gotta go. Bye.